Good morning, everyone. I've got 11 o'clock on the dot. We're going to go ahead and get started with the second County Municipal Government Committee meeting of this week. Clerk, if you could call the roll.
Senator Albritton, Senator Carnley, Senator Coleman, Senator Gudger, Senator Hatcher, Senator Hovey, Senator Kelly, Senator Coleman-Madison, Senator Chambliss, Senator Elliott.
Here. We're a little bit light today, but the chair declares we have a quorum. It's a busy day, and so we're going to get started. Representative Hill, you're first on the agenda today with House Bill 166, which is a fantastic bill, sir.
I've never had that level of confidence expressed before I said anything, so I appreciate it. Look, right now, if the governor actually has not signed a couple of local bills giving raises and stuff into our local officials because the understanding was it had to be a constitutional amendment. So this HCA asked me to bring this that simply it'll be a statewide constitutional amendment so that each county can then bring local legislation to bring the issue of pay raises up without having it to be a constitutional amendment. I assume y'all got I got a request for a amendment to this that just simply says neither the legislature nor the county can do it without this. And if y'all have that amendment, I've got it. I can give it to you. The amendment's fine.
Representative Hill, we have the amendment right here. I'm going to offer. Okay, I'm offering the amendment. I have a second by Senator Carnley. Members, that amendment is in your left-hand pocket there, and so we're going to vote on adoption of the amendment at this point. Clerk, if you could call the roll.
Senator Albritton, Senator Carnley, Senator Coleman, Senator Gudger, Senator Hatcher, Senator Hovey, Senator Kelly, Senator Coleman-Madison, Senator Chambliss, Senator Elliott.
I'm a definite yes. Okay, and I'm going to move for favorable report as amended, seconded by Senator Chambliss, using previous roll without objection. Senator Hatcher, would you like to be added, or do you want to catch up first? 166, first bill on the calendar as amended. He voted yes. Representative Hill, your bill receives a favorable report.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Everybody's having fun this morning. I like it. House Bill 270, Representative Sells. Welcome, sir.
Hey, good morning. Okay, so what this bill does, it's about as good as that last one. So the process should have been addressed years ago, really. So the process now in selling tax lien property is if you have over money. So the taxes owed are $300 and it sells for $1,300. Well, that over money never goes back to the owner of the property. So there's been some lawsuits in some other states about that. So we're trying to stay out of lawsuit trouble. So what this bill does is the over money, at the time the person that loses the property can eventually get the over money. And it allows, it moves it from 3 years to 4 years. And it adds more notification processes and more time for them to respond. If there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Senator
Mr. Chairman, I've always had a problem with this, but I wasn't smart enough to figure it out, so I would move favorable.
I have a motion by Senator Chambliss, a second by Senator Kelly. Are there any other questions for the sponsor?
One question. Is retroactivity involved with this? I see 2016 and calendar year 2015.
Yes, so some of the people can go back on that. Yes, sir. It does add some years what's listed in the bill. They can go back. So a lot property that was lost in 15, they get another year or so, like it says in the bill. Yes, it does go back.
Did it have any negative effect on budgets for the counties or anything?
I don't think so.
You don't think
It just
so?
gives them, well, it's over money, so it's and probably be very small people that come back to get their money.
That's all my question.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Any objection to using the previous roll? Hearing none, the bill receives a favorable report. Thank you, Representative
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sells. Next up, Representative Brown. Nope.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have House Bill 198, and have Senator Gavan with me, who has a Senate companion as well.
You know that's not helpful.
And we were doing so well.
Only with you. I walked up here on my own free will there, Senator. What this does is establishes minimum building code standards for the 59 counties that don't have building codes, and it sets the 2015 International Building Code as the baseline for home builders across the state. It doesn't do anything to the counties and cities that have their own building codes, and doesn't prevent them from adopting tougher standards. It combines the building code and the energy code into one area with the home building licensure board.
Senator Carnley.
Question, you were talking about codes. I know out in the county, sometimes people build these, temporary small homes, and people, in our county, we don't have codes. This would not affect that as far as counties that don't have building codes. You're just saying the home builders would be subject to the building code.
Right. The home builders would be the ones that would be subject to in order to get their license, they'd have to agree to build to those standards. It doesn't do anything with inspections.
All right, thank you.
Senator Albrecht.
That gets to my question, enforcement. If this establishes home builders to that degree, who enforces that and at what point? And if the counties don't have an inspector program, any thoughts along that line?
It would come back to the home builder licensure board. Because if they don't have a home, and they don't, it's not creating an inspection process in the counties or cities. It's just saying you will build to these standards in order to get your license, that you agree to build to those standards. And that way it helps.
I promise?
Well, I mean, essentially, unless you file a complaint, you could file a complaint and end up being a civil action.
So it'd be up to the homeowner or the homeowner
Right.
to make the complaint if something is discovered, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Or the court liability system.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Chambliss.
What is the procedure or process by which the required standard, as we all know, these change over time? Is there any automatic provision that a newer standard is required, or does it stay there and new legislation has to be passed? I don't think we want to get into some type of automatic changing of standards without somebody here in the state making that decision.
Right. This actually sets up a board that it makes recommendations, and a steering committee. How about that? Sets up a steering or advisory
from saying that.
advisory panel to make recommendations on that. When I saw your head go down, I thought, oh, that's the wrong word. But with that, with inside the home builders licensure board to make recommendations and that sort of thing on.
Make recommendations to who? The legislature?
Well, on what building codes to use. It's the way it's written is essentially as a baseline. It's using that 2015. It doesn't prevent a city or county from doing that, but it doesn't automatically reset to the tougher, because we're actually already in the 2022 International Building Codes right now, and supposedly they're coming out with another one sometime soon. But
Yeah, and that's what kind of scares me, because I know that sometimes there are things that are put into the new codes that are very, very egregious to home building in Alabama. It might be needed in Maine, but not here. So I'll read it some more detail, and we'll talk some more.
Sounds good.
Maybe with Sam before we move forward.
Senator Kelly.
thanks, sir.
Just want to clarify, I have some reservations with this, but it does not create another inspection process for the homeowner.
No, Senator, 100% does not. What it's aimed at is one, it's a life safety issue from being able to build in these areas that do not have a building code, but then also with financing and with insurance costs, it should hopefully see premiums go down because you're building to a minimum safety standard.
Yeah, I'm the son of a home builder. And so it's, there's some things that are great for health and safety. And on the preface, for housing, residential housing, sprinkler system sounds great and wonderful, but your problem's not with the fire, your problem's with the water damage with those things. So I'm very conscious of those type of things. Do have some concerns there, but thank you.
Yes, sir.
I move favorable.
Okay, I have a motion by Senator Chambliss, a second by Senator Hatcher. I got one comment. I've got some questions on line 365 through 370. I'll get with you and with Seth about them.
Okay.
It's about how this applies to police jurisdictions. So,
Okay. That's a good topic there for another
We'll
day.
set up a commission for that.
we're a board within a board, so it'll be fine. Yeah, absolutely. You got the companion. We're going to pass it next. So we'll
Well, I'm
do-
sorry, I just did want to say a couple things. One is to Senator Chambliss's question, if there's something in here that allows sort of automatic provisions to kick up to the next code, it's a mistake, because when this all started about 3 or 4 years ago, that's one of the things I changed, because that's very objectionable to me. And one of the reasons is what Senator Kelly brought up about the sprinkler situation. That's something that we've had to fight periodically, and I don't want that to just, come up in some automatic renewal. But I will be, pushing Representative Brown's bill. I would like to move mine out of committee, but this will be the bill we'll be moving on the floor.
If I might interject, and I have a proposed amendment to Senator Van's 288 bill that I would like to put, but if he's not going to be pushing that, maybe I ought to look at putting this on.
Yeah, let's do this. I think that's already in what came out of the House, and this amendment is
Oh, is that
syncing
right?
that up. And we want to have both of these instruments ready to go so we can choose which one needs to.
Okay.
So we'll handle both of those if that's okay.
I'll follow the chair's lead.
Yeah, okay. I got a motion and a second for favorable report on Representative Brown's bill. Is everybody okay using previous roll? Okay, very good. Bill receives a favorable report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members.
Thank you very much. Senator Van, you're up. Senate Bill 288 is virtually the same bill. As Senator Albritton points out, we need to adopt the
Move
amendment.
adoption of the amendment.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Kelly was the second. Using previous roll without objection, amendment's adopted. And now we're on the bill. I have a motion for favorable report and a second. So that's Carnley and Hatcher. Any objection using previous roll? We have two identical bills.
Thank you very much.
Bill receives a favorable report. Thank you very much. Okay. Representative Pettis, welcome, sir.
This bill is not about police jurisdictions.
Very good, sir.
This bill is actually 5 words. It changes the procurement code. Currently, district attorneys and sheriffs have the authority to use competitive local bidding. All this does is add volunteer fire departments and rescue squads to the same bidding procedures.
Move favorable.
Motion by Senator Chambliss, a second by Senator Kelly. Are there any questions?
I have one
Senator
question.
Albritton. Yes, sir.
Volunteer fire departments, do they have the criteria? I know it's the same as DAs and sheriffs, but they have an infrastructure there. A volunteer fire department does not have the same type infrastructure for oversight and entering into some of these methodologies. Are we sure we want to provide that to a separate entity along that line?
Well, the way it's explained to me, it's going to save them on money. It all comes down to money. They can be able to buy more stuff. Instead of doing the big bid over statewide, they can do it locally and get it locally. And if there's a problem with it, they'll be able to take care of their local merchants.
That's an interesting statement. I'm
We can call it on-
done. I'm done.
I lost for words. Wow. No, it's unique.
I share some of your concerns, Senator Albritton. Would you prefer the long roll or using the previous roll on this? Okay, very good. I need a motion and a second if anybody's interested. We already got that? Thanks. Okay. Let's call the long roll on that.
Senator Albritton. Senator Carnley. Senator Coleman. Senator Gedger. Senator Hatcher. Senator Hovey. Senator Kelly. Senator Coleman Madison. Senator Chambliss. Senator Elliott.
I'll vote no with you. Bill receives a favorable report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members.
Representative Lipscomb, you're up, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. House Bill 182 deals with the squatter epidemic that's prolific throughout the United States right now. We're trying to be proactive rather than reactive in this matter. It addresses penalties, processes for affidavits, and just generally deals with an issue that we didn't have any means of controlling previously.
Senator Carnley.
Hey, I just had a question. So if these people damage the property, is there anything recourse to them? I mean, I know some of them probably are not going to be able to pay anyway, but is there a first line of defense to go back to them and request payment for damages before they have to file on their homeowners or whatever insurance they have?
The bill doesn't address any civil activity in that regard. It just addresses the
Doesn't
criminal
prevent them,
activity.
but it doesn't give them recourse either, so,
Right.
okay, thank you.
Senator Kelly.
Well, this is one I've got experience with in my profession. And what it is now, if you have someone that takes control of a property, you don't know who they are, you have to evict them by John Doe or other residents living at and put the address in and go through an eviction process, and they can tear that property up, do whatever they need to do to it. So I'm highly in favor of Representative Lipscomb's bill, and very appreciative of you bringing it, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Kelly moves favorable report. Second by Senator Chambliss. Any further questions for the sponsor? Okay, let's use the long roll because I want to vote for this one.
Senator Albritton? Senator Carnley? Senator Coleman? Senator Gudger? Senator Hatcher? Senator Hovey? Senator Kelly?
Aye.
Senator Coleman Madison? Senator Chambliss?
Aye.
Senator Elliott?
Aye. Bill receives favorable report. Thank you so much, Representative Lipscomb. Great bill.
Thank you, Chairman, members.
Mr. Leader, you have Senate Bill 299 for its encore debut.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for putting this bill on your committee today. This bill is a bill for the Secretary of the Senate for LSA Department of Public Accounts in the Clerk of the House. Normally, right now, they're not able to do reimbursements or buy food for the staff like when we're around late. This bill will allow them to be able to do and to buy other items. This bill will allow them to do that. Also, this bill also addresses the Capitol and the spaces that are there. We're able to clarify which floors that they control. And also, it also goes to the streets that's around the Capitol, where streets that we can control after Montgomery may close them down. They control Ripley, Union, South Jackson, and those streets that are around us. This bill will also transfer to go to our new building when we're there also.
I have a motion for favorable report by Senator Hatcher. I have a second by Senator Carnley. Using previous roll without objection. Okay, hearing no objection, the bill receives a favorable report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Leader.
Appreciate it.
That concludes our agenda. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you in the next committee meeting in 12 minutes.